What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream. We're back on our Deck Knight project, a game built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5, C++ blueprints, the gameplay ability system plugin, and all of that good stuff. So today, it's Thursday, so we're going to chill, and we're going to just work a little bit more on our ImGui. Off stream, the last stream we were doing, I interrupted live coding. And when I did that, my project shit its pants so hard. So I had to do a full cleanup and full rebuild to get it to open again. It was getting some weird linker errors and stuff like that. So lesson learned, don't do that, I guess. But I kind of want to organize this ImGui a little bit better. But I also was able to fix the issues I was getting in the execution class. So the execution class itself was fine. It was just the way that I was handling the gameplay effect. So let me open up. We should have a GE card cost base. So basically what was happening is I wasn't providing the data for the set by caller in the actual executions itself. I was adding it within the modifiers. So basically what the system was thinking was happening was I was setting that cost value and then reading it through the attribute set and updating it that way, and then running the execution class on top of that. So I was getting inconsistent values or values that weren't working, and I had also introduced debug, where I can ignore costs, and so essentially the ignore cost wasn't working. So as you can see right now, I can't afford this card, so when I go up on the D-pad, see there's no feedback or anything like that, which I'll need to fix. But if I do ignore cost now, I can play it, and business as kind of usual. Also, this is always this bug that comes in whenever I kind of load it the first time. I'll need to fix that. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for popping in there from YouTube. How you doing, Cruising for a Cruising? So I want to add a couple things to my ImGui debug. It would be nice to have this deck manager component, and maybe at the top have some high-level debugs as well. So I could have a checkbox that turns on this debug, for example, a cooldown or ignore costs and stuff like that. But I, in general, want to make some organizational tweaks to this thing. So I'm going to just take a screenshot of my debugger as it stands, so I have a reference to it. What are the things I want to add, right? I want to possibly add also a directory path. It would be pretty awesome if I could make it a hyperlink so that you can click on it and it will open stuff in the content browser. I have no idea how to do something like that, so I wonder, I'm going to use Copilot, judge me all you want. I'm going to see if there's a way to do that. So E5 ImGui. I guess it's hyperlink to asset in content browser. But I think that'll be really interesting to have. So you can look at this stuff, and it'll just be a hyperlink. You click on it, and it'll just open up the content browser for you, and you can just see the asset directly. So let's see if there's anything available for that. Because in previous jobs, I've seen that possible. You can, and I don't know if it is something that's by default. When you go to this set, for example, right click, yeah. So there's not really. Maybe it's a plugin or something where you can copy it. I've seen it done before, so I'm wondering if it's doable. So it has sync browser to object, which synchronizes the content processor. With the content browser module exposes sync browser to assets overloads that select supplied assets in the primary content browser. So it seems like there's ways to do it. So it has to be editor only, so I need to make sure I do that quick. Which option to use? So there's a GE editor. Interesting. Okay, let's see if we can get something. So close all tabs. Let's go to... Because I could have like a button next to each one that says like open in the content browser or something like that. Let's see. So panels, deck manager panel. So I need to do it also. I have to kind of wrap it in like a if with editor kind of thing. So I could maybe in theory make like a button next to each text kind of. So it's card info, card type, location. But yeah, then we eventually get to this next column where we have all this stuff, right? So we could say, so there's the ability, name. So like get name and everything. But I guess we can open the ability in that case, right? So let's see. So if with editor, and then like end if. And we could say, I don't know, is there G editor? Okay, there is G editor, right? So I could just say if I can say ImGui, same line, GUI button, call it like find in browser or something. Or it's gonna give me an issue. Because like with certain labels, yeah, I would need to say like how I would do the row names and stuff. Let me what I want to do. So we'll just grab this. Because also this is probably what I would want to do as well. But we'll start with down here. And yeah, probably would want to wrap this in a function as it kind of suggested. But let's just go one at a time. And so find that. So okay, so it's a label. There should be other labels, right? Can I just have like a simple label name? I don't think so, but let's just see. And then I think I could say if, right? So Then we say T array view object so seems like that's more or less the pattern. So let's see if that even works. So fingers crossed, gang. Okay, it compiled, so that's a start. And we'll see if this breaks or crashes. Okay. But it doesn't highlight it. So if I change directory and then go, yeah. How do I force it open? I wonder too. Let's see if we can get that information online. Because we're good, we're close. Oh, there's a flag here. Force it open, bring it to the front, bring it open. Okay, then we need to get the subsystem, it seems. So, new asset editor, subsystem. Wrap that in an if in itself. Say, see if that works. So let's change directory. Let's do a hot reload, and let's be careful. Let's not stop it midway. We learned our lesson. And anyway, we could probably then wrap this up in a function, honestly, and just put it in a bunch of places. Assuming I got this right, so let's see. Okay. So it opens. Doesn't really open the gameplay ability. It opens up this like, oh, it opens up the U object. So how do I have it? How do I do the class? Because yeah, that's the issue. Is that loaded ability is the CDO, the class default object, not really the asset. So. So how do we get the object though? So how to get object from, I'll say, soft class path. So I think we have access to that, right? We got the loaded ability, we got this soft class pointer. Okay, so what it recommends to do is soft class pointer anyway. We got a little kitty. Is there like G-editor, sync, browser, objects? Let's see. Definitely missing something. So it's not really the object that I need. Oh, I need to get the class, right? So I have tsoft class pointer, and I resolve it to a soft ability ref. So it's something like this, right? So I should be able to say, in this example, new class, ability class equals, just loaded ability, that class is fine. And then I can say, new object, ability object, and I don't want to say this get default object. I want to say what's wrong here? I want to say U blueprint. So expression of type T object pointer U object is not callable. I don't need that. I wonder if that will work. Something else. Let's do a hot reload. Hope this will work. Compiled, so still the U object, not the actual class. Unless I need to also do this ability. Let's see if that works. 10th time is the charm, they say. All right, fingers crossed. Oh, yeah. We did it. Okay. So I'll need to kind of encapsulate this because, like, to me, blueprints are a interesting thing. I don't, like, not all of these obviously are blueprints. So I'm curious how this looks for non-blueprint assets. So just the test, I'm going to do the same thing for now, which is a brute force copy for the data asset at the very top. So let's go to the top, and we go pretty much here. So I'm going to just copy it. Okay, that's fine. Boom, 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 boom. Go here. So essentially, we have the asset data, but we also have loaded card, right? I should be able to, maybe, let's see how far that gets to me there. Ooh, there's a Steam spring sale coming on. I need to start wish listing some more stuff. Let's take a look. So 2 visible items with the conflict ID. Yeah, that's kind of what we talked about, but yeah. So this opens up just fine. I think, let's see. I think it's under edit preferences. It's like open, window. Window. I think that's brilliant. So always on top, plain new editor window. Yeah, but there's also something with like opening up assets. Output log. So asset open location default new window. Main window. Let me see if that just changes anything. This is my main window, at least I think it is. Yeah, perfect. And then this one, yeah, it doesn't work on this one because of the whole visible items with stuff. So I will need to encapsulate stuff here. So I don't know how to really work this. How does this look like in practice again? So, yeah, we have open, browser. I mean, I don't want to make this whole thing a button now, but I might want to make it maybe the image clickable. But yeah, let's. Like, is there a way to give it like a unique label? Let me just double check. We'll have to. I'll try to make two functions here. No. Void open data asset, or just open asset. And they both would need just a U object, I think, right? So U blueprint. So it should be fine. Let's generate those. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Let's see. Let's move. This is the blueprint one, right? I guess I would keep. Let's do this, right? So open asset, loadability. Then go here. I don't know if this is going to give me a problem if I scope it out here. But yeah, we got the class, so I kind of needed to do it like this. Pull up, the body logic. Ability set, car type for description. Okay, so it's down more. Pop ID. Where the hell? Gameplay type. There you go. I should be able to pull something like that off, right? And then I could just pass in ability. Let's get away with that. Also get away with something like that. Baby. I think that should work. think maybe the better thing to do that. That. Let's see if that works still. But yeah, I have to fix the name, the labeling, I think, right? So they say equals, so go open. Is there a way to? Yeah, that's a vector 2. But like, how can I? Turning into circles here. Okay. So I have to construct the label myself, I guess. So something to that effect. T-char, BTF8. I hope that'll work. We'll see. All right, it compiled, so it's looking good for our heroes. Let's see. Okay, open. Okay. And it worked. So we just gotta do the same. Because yeah, now we have to asset open there. So now I'm curious. Yeah, let's just do the same for the other function. So we have this here, and we have this up here. We should be able to copy this. put it here. Gonna need to pass an asset object. Then here, we should be able to say same ImGui line, and then open asset loaded card. Just take everything else out. So let's do a hot reload, and then ideally we should be able to just kind of plug in those things all over the place to get everything hooked in. But yeah, what else do we want? I know I mentioned this image. I don't know if I need this section for anything. It's not really labeled too, so I don't know why it exists, honestly. Something to figure out in a bit. Open in browser and then open. All good. But yeah, this also needs to have its information updated, so I should be able to do something similar. Should be okay. Now I should, like I said, plug this in into a bunch of places, so. So then there's granted effects, and then I should be able to just do the same stuff here. Let's test that game theory. I have a little bit of a headache. Woe is me. But, you know, tomorrow's Friday. It's the weekend. I'm pumped. Had a pretty good week. Can't complain. So the gameplay effects, I think it's because it needs to be expanded a little bit. Hey, thanks for the follow there on YouTube. Thanks for the sub. Yeah, there's open. So yeah, I don't like how it's actually expanded to this, but I think it's, I don't know why I closed out everything, but it's fine. So yeah, don't really want the size to be very special. Say that, I think. What else? And I don't know if it needs to be same line. I think I could put it underneath. Oh. So what do we need to open next? So we have the car directory. There's again the image, but then yeah, we don't really need to care about attributes, I guess. But that seems to be everything. Yeah. So I think I need to make another like section here. I need to like split this up a little bit better because like we have the active ability slot kind of just written in the middle there, sandwiched between that data. So I think that could probably be displayed a bit better. So we're going to say maybe ImGui text. No, not that. ImGui text. that. But yeah, in the middle of this, we have this. Well, I guess I know why. It was showing active ability slot. I can't really write this here, right? Because ability entry is not a thing anymore. So where are we looping for? Here, right? For each ability entry. I think there's a way. Hey, random facts. Wow, hello. Maybe there's a way to put like a separator in between here. Something to that effect, but maybe there's a way to make a separator here. Or something? Alright. I feel like this is listening to me because I was saying the word separator. And then it just automatically gave me the autocorrect for separator, so I think the computer isn't listening. Let's see if that will compile. And then, yeah, ideally making this clickable, and I think this needs more information. Like this needs to say, you know, card name, and then fireball, and then card description is turned into a fireball. Card type, ability card. I think that'll make that information a little bit more clear on what it is. And probably the information itself might need to be a different color, honestly. Let's just see what this separator looks like. Okay, so we do have a separator. I think that works fine, yeah. Okay, let's update card info. I know one of these has the attribute. No, not that one. One of these is the attributes panel, and I have these examples, right? So I want to do something like that, and then I forget how the colored text stuff really works. So text colored makes sense. So let's go to the card info section. Right, so we're going to say, I guess at the top, we'll declare these things. Maybe do IM spec for hello equals. That should be right. So, because I think I want yellow to be the actual information. So I should be able to say ImGui, not text colored, but text. I'm going to say card name. We'll say text colored. Or say yellow. Say ImGui separator. Ideally, that should work. Let's see if that gets us the results that we want for that piece of information, then we'll do the rest. Hope you all enjoying me working in debug mode. Because I'll need to do another like design session stream to really get a re-grasp of what's next to do for the project. Because yeah, we have some example of an ability being slotted. We have a cost now that we're assuming the cost. There's a lot of polish to add in that loop, but I think I just need to write stuff down, honestly. Yeah, so card name, yeah, Fireball. I think I need to write same line. Let's see. But it looks pretty accurate. Got some new people from some people on Discord. Awesome. So yeah, let's see what this looks like. So yeah, card name, Fireball. Then I'll probably want to do description, card description, this. So yeah, it's looking much better. Okay, so let's do the rest. So more or less take this, right? So take the whole thing like that. Card description. No. Like that. Red an E card type, so I don't know why I'm calling it this. Should be just card type. Cool, and then there's default icon, all the All right, so let's just make sure we get that done. Now, I don't know how to make an image clickable. You guys leave kitty in the basket. Okay, so there is an image button that I can use, so we can change that probably, I hope. But yeah, so card name, Fireball, description, turned into a Fireball, card slot type, ability card, and then we got image. That works and looks good, I think. So empty card. So instead of empty, I'm gonna maybe put a little more verbose things here. And maybe I can make it kind of pseudo clever. Where I'll say like this has to be what? I am vec4, right? I'm gonna say I am vec4. Card name. Text color equals should be able to take that, put it there, and instead of saying empty, it'd be like no card name, or just missing card name. And we should be able to do something similar. I guess it doesn't really have to be the same. Well, yeah, it does. I mean, can I say the same? Whatever. So we're gonna say or something like that, and then okay, so now we eventually get the ImGui image, and there's this handle, things like that. So I'm hoping I can say ImGui image button. Can I pass in a handle? I guess I can say if I'm doing this item clicked. And yeah, we'll have to do the same thing as the other. So maybe if with editor, if. Now we gotta do nitty gritty in between. So I have to call open asset icon to draw, I hope. Let's see if that works. Okay, succeed. Great success. Okay. Okay. Super duper helpful at first glance, yeah. But yeah, clicking this doesn't really do anything. Just gotta. Then we get the open asset. So I see the issue. Issue being, of course, that this function primarily worries about creating a button. And I don't really need to do that. So I could, in theory, just grab this and just do it manually in this case. Maybe the function can have a flag that just says don't draw the button or not. And then I could still call open asset where we can say reveal bool piece force open. False. Let's grab that. I guess we can make a... Hoping that's valid. Let's then go up to image. Do set. Try one more time. And we'll see if that goes for it. I have faith, I believe. We got a stretchy kitty over here. Moment of truth, gang. We're gonna click this button, and it opened. Awesome, so that works. So that's looking good. Like potentially we could, like, again, I need to. Like the fact that this has a card level override, this doesn't have a card level override, ability set, none. I should probably put in information. There's no ability set assigned. Missing card name. I guess I copied and pasted something missing card name. So let's fix the remainder of these. And then yeah, I also wanted to create like a fuzzy search. Which I think is doable. But yeah, let's fix this. I need to take a photo again. I forget what's wrong. So granted abilities, right? Why is it saying that? Why is that saying that anyway? So ability set granted ability, missing card name. No granted abilities. So somewhere I'm overriding card name. I am, yeah. So missing card name has no granted gameplay effects. So that's not really what I want to say here. I just say like ability, card ability set dot get name. Same for here. Oop. And yeah, I need to figure out how to do a search. Let's see if that fixes it. So, yeah, all this information, ability set, add to hand. Yeah, well, we can. I guess we technically can add something to hand, but it'll be empty. But there is text filter. So, ImGui text filter is a helper that draws an input and gives you a pass filter to test strings. And there's plain search bar, so input text, so I also add like, additional filter options, because like I have in the damage pipeline some stuff similar. Or I want to add a filter, so I could maybe make a filter. Hey, filter for cards with missing data in it. That could be useful. So if we look at the damage events, we eventually get to like a filtering stuff. So we have a Binkin combo and everything. Successful, so let's just double check everything one last time. So, yeah, CS test card has no gameplay effects. Okay, that seems to be better. So, but in theory, I could maybe add like another table at the top for like potential filters and debugs and stuff. So we have draw debug panel, we have blah blah blah, and then blah blah blah, and then we have another thing. Maybe I'll make another table. So if ImGui table, search and debug, and we'll say 2 for now. So let me grab this, for example, do it again, and just grab this 2. That. So I will need static bool, I think. So static bool, the enable, or I could just say maybe B, debug, ignore costs. What else do we need? So I might need to make an enum type for filtering. Say like, hey, filter by, empty stuff. But I'll make a bool for now. So static bool, we filter for empty card data. Just give it a huge ass name. These at the top. And I could say 2 columns. Debug options, and then search and filters. Then header row. Table next column. I guess I don't need a table row next column. I could just say it's column, maybe. Let's checkbox, yeah, ignore costs, and then we would say for all the card data assets. Guess we would have to check some of this information. We would just have to say maybe I could say some pool be good to filtered equals I could maybe have different filters say, hey, is there a missing icon? Then can I say like if I wonder if that's enough, honestly. All right, moment of truth, gang. Okay, we get a we get a crash. What's wrong? So it doesn't look like we end the table correctly, first and foremost. try that again. Not good that it crashed. And then, yeah, we'll be streaming for maybe 10 more minutes, gang. See if we can get to a decent spot. Oh! Okay, so sort of. So I need to do. That's wrong. I think that should be better. We should at least see something. Okay, so for sure that works, but okay, so pressing that doesn't work good. Okay, so probably something wrong with our filter. So these should be filtered. So if they have empty thing or so it feels like I'm not getting past that point, which is strange. I might need to maybe comment that line out. Like, how do I do the filters? Another one, damage events, right? So, check fire damage immunity. Filevar, okay. Let's see. That's fine, but then for some reason that one crashes, which is interesting. Again, like, feels like I'm taking crazy pills. Let me just be certain. And then we might have to just come back to this next time. Okay. Oh no, I did F12. Why did I do F12? Okay, so okay, so that's cool, but yeah, again, it's for some reason. For some reason it's just not loading in this other table. How am I doing this? We have begin, and then we have options table, and we have a push style bar, and all that stuff, and then we go we do all that stuff, all that stuff, all that stuff, all that stuff, and then eventually we get to end table, right? And then pop style bar. So I wonder. This is just not showing. The other table. Again, just to sanity check. I'm doing something wrong with how I'm drawing these tables. So the table's back. Just for funsies, I'm gonna grab this whole thing. Oh, never mind. So again, for funsies now, I will do it. Right. Grab it, put it here. And I'm gonna just take a bunch of crap out of it. So again, I only need 2 rows. I'll start from the top, start from the bottom down here. So columns, I should say. Yeah, options table. Good. Take out the rest. So I could just kind of copy what I did below, right? That. And then, yeah, so next column. It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. So this is where I would put, for example, this. And pretty much everything else needs to just go away up until end table. So this next section would be search and filters. But yeah, ideally, that should be it. Because then, yeah, eventually I make another table. So it's begin table. It's the options table, right? Well, let's see if that gives me anything different, I suppose. I'm gonna try. So yeah, here we go. There's the debug. So I'm not sure what I did wrong. So we got the filter for card data. Ignore card costs. So now that that works, I wonder if I can now kind of fix the other stuff here. So there's this again. My assumption is it'll still crash, but maybe we're lucky this time. Because again, the goal is to just filter for different things. So yeah, it's checked by default. I don't know what it's complaining about. Because with the other, we say return, but maybe continue is what we want. Because yeah, I don't know what it's returning. I think that is what it is. There you go. So kind of works backwards. How's this looking? So, if this is true, might just need to be that is not. Like, my concern potentially is with the usability of that is it won't show you all the information by default. So maybe I need to have like more of like a drop down thing where it's like, hey, okay, if it's show all, show only missing data, that kind of thing. So yeah, filter for empty. Yeah, this seems fine. Yeah, then it shows all this, so we could just see which ones have missing information. And maybe I can also include into this the icon. Hopefully that's still a valid thing to say. We would have to test this as well. But again, yeah, maybe we wouldn't have ones that say, okay, only show ones with missing names and only missing descriptions or missing icons and stuff. Maybe, I don't know if it'll be worthwhile doing that kind of hardcore filtering. Probably in the long run, if, you know, if this project takes off, it needs to be more serious, but you know, now it's okay. And yeah, we gotta add the ignore costs, search filters. I have a search bar first. So yeah, I want to filter for those specific things and then kind of go from there. But I think it's a decent start. We got a lot done, so I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna start making a build, a shipping build, and I'll make a development build just so I can open up the ImGui. So it is already development, so let's go to development. So we'll start that. I just want to make sure nothing breaks. But that's where I'm going to end for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back on Sunday most likely, and we'll be back on next week. So have a good Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you all for hanging out and chilling. Make sure to subscribe if you are already following here on YouTube. Make sure to follow on Twitch, of course. Make sure to join our Discord. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see you soon.